So good to see you.
Yes,
Thanks for coming in.
Absolutely.
So what we're doing today is basically we started our weekly fireside chats with ZUUM Transportation Inc. Basically here from our headquarters in Irvine, we're meeting with local business owners, local transportation companies, local manufacturing companies, marketing managers, salespeople, basically local participants in the world of logistics. As you know, ZUUM Transportation is a company that focuses on two components. One of them is basically filling the white space of capacity aggregation, and the second part is filling the white space of integrated, committed, and intelligent information flow. Basically solving the two components of logistics. So today I've got Christopher Robertson here, and he's agreed to come in and talk to us for a little bit. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome.
So I work for ABC Sheet Metal. We are a Anaheim-based manufacturer that's been in business for 150 years. We have been evolving over those 150 years, and we've diversified to the point that when one industry has a problem, we typically aren't hurt too poorly, and we're able to pick up another industry that picks up. This has been a trying time for us because we're seeing just companies stop working in many cases, and it's really a challenging environment because where we usually would have, let's say, the medical industry pick up when there's something like this going on, business as normal, to they don't know how to operate anymore, and now they're trying to get back going, but they're having fits, like they jump in and they pull back, they jump in and pull back, or they're in a rush, they're suddenly confused about what they need to do, what their priorities are, or they're running into production problems due to changes in how they work.
And I don't think that anybody would have thought that a virus can change the way we live in such a fundamental way. Never thought that it could change the way we work in such a fundamental way. Now, many of you might wonder, what is sheet metal? When I think about sheet metal, I don't even know what comes to mind. Tell us a little bit about what you guys do.
Sure. So we build, at the lowest end, a countertop for a restaurant or something.
Got it.
We could build a table, for instance. We do car parts. We do aircraft parts. We build armor for the military. We do bracketry for virtually anything you can think of.
So basically, household electronics.
Household electronics would be like a kind of more of a commodity-based component. We tend to specialize more in the more challenging, heavier-duty, stronger pieces, where it's something you're not going to want to go to China necessarily, because it's not a cookie cutter. You're going to sell a million parts. It's where you're looking to make something that's high precision, that's going to be medium capacity up to, let's say, 1 million parts. We do a lot of prototyping. So we do everything from flat material that's cut and bent and then welded, painted or something, and turn it into a component that is integrated into our product later on. One of the simpler examples would be we make brackets that go inside of a vehicle, and that bracket does everything from hold electronic components,
like tracking systems for trucks,
which we do. We do
wow.
that part.
Okay.
So if someone has a fleet vehicle, there's a fair chance that we have one of our parts inside there helping that company that makes the tracking hardware mount their product inside the vehicle itself.
Right.
So we do it from across a number of different types of vehicles from different manufacturers, as well as custom ones where they come in and say, we need to do 100 vehicles that are this particular one, and we'll work with them and figure out how to make a bracket that fits inside the limited space inside the vehicle, so they can mount their equipment that then hooks up to the engine, GPS, so everything that happens to that vehicle during its service.
Right.
So the breadth of what we do is quite wide. I mean, ventilators, which were huge back in April.
Yep.
They're not huge anymore, but they were. But we work to adapt to what their needs are.
Yep.
And so one of our key traits is being able to rapidly respond to someone and get them what they need and work back and forth with them to make sure we're delivering to their expectations.
Yep.
And that's become, it's definitely a critical thing with what's going on in the business environment right now, where the standard distribution systems have been completely disrupted.
Global supply chain interruption. I mean,
So,
we're familiar with that.
Yeah.
If you're looking at ZUUM Transportation, ultimately, ZUUM Transportation is both, on the one hand, a digital freight marketplace. So ultimately, shippers, which we call shippers, but they're manufacturers, that either produce certain goods or food or components, they ultimately need to find capacity in order to move raw materials to their business partners or to move finished product from the manufacturing facilities to warehouse, to distribution centers, to different companies that are consuming them. Ultimately, logistics is the coordinated and streamlined movement of goods and information from the point of manufacture to the point of consumption. Capacity is one component, and when we use the term capacity, what that basically means is a truck shows up at ABC Sheet Metal, and you've just manufactured 500 different brackets for a specific car manufacturer, and the car manufacturing facility is in Northern California in San Jose, so it has to drive from Anaheim to San Jose. The second component as to what we do is we work with shippers, freight brokers, and carriers to optimize everything around the truck showing up on time, picking up your goods on time, and then delivering them on time. That means we automate paperwork, we centralize paperwork, we integrate with demand forecasting software, we integrate with transportation management software. We make sure that shippers are finding the most efficient and effective way to move freight and good from A to B. Now, in many economies, the average logistics and freight component of the gross domestic product is approximately 13% globally. In more advanced economies like the United States, it's about 8%. In China, it's around 15%. There's a very high correlation between the economic wealth of a country and the supply chain cost that needs to be covered. Because moving things from A to B is a cost, clearly. Using technology to make moving goods more effective and more efficient is one key thing how we can help manufacturers work better. So I know that you guys want to head into purchase the truck in order to personally move certain goods from A to B. You work with a transportation company. If you need flexible capacity because of big orders that need to be moved very quickly, you work with freight brokers. You probably work with some of the larger full truckload and less than truckload carriers in the United States. But managing all of this is either done by dispatch, it's done by a transportation manager, sometimes by somebody else. So ultimately, if you're looking for a more efficient, more effective company to work with, ZUUM is one of the companies that can give you the technology, but we can also just simply give you access to trucks, to capacity on our digital freight marketplace. So that's ultimately what we do. I'm wishing you an absolutely fantastic evening, lots of continued success with ABC Sheet Metal.
Absolutely, thank you.
Gonna come back hopefully soon, and I think after this we're going to do something that everybody should do on a Tuesday. We're going to go to a restaurant, socially distance, have a phenomenal meal, and support the local economy. Chris, thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Great to see you.
Good to see you.